Hello, good evening, and welcome to today's program. For all those who are joining us from home, from away, from abroad, from wherever you are watching this program from, I want to extend a warm welcome to you. My name is Tunde Disu, and this program is called Become a Better Man. On this program today, we're looking at another excellent and wonderful topic. We're looking at understanding self-motivation. Understanding self-motivation. And this is something that we all can do with. This is something that we all need. This is something that will benefit all of us. I want to welcome my son, Ore Disu, Monica Van Kutin, Ojo Adesiwa. Thank you all. Mercy Percy. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining us. I appreciate your time and your commitment and dedication to this program. Thank you. On today's program, like I said, we are starting another topic. We're starting to look at self-motivation. You know, for those of us from Africa, we're used to seeing the Agama lizard, the lizard with the red head, falling down from the top of the tree. It will look to the right, look to the left. Since nobody is saying anything, it will nod its head just to say, you've done a good job, well done. What is it doing? He's on one hand praising himself, and on the other hand saying, if nobody will appreciate me, if nobody will motivate me, I will motivate myself. The Bible talks also about David encouraging himself in the Lord when he was at the lowest part of his life, when everything he loved and he believed in and held dear, when they were all gone, either in fire or being taken hostage or taken away. When even his own army were going to stone him, the Bible talks about David encouraged himself in the Lord. So on today's program, we're looking at what does it mean to encourage yourself? What is the meaning of self-motivation? What is it that we need to do to motivate ourselves? You see, the life that we live in, the environment where we find ourselves, our day-to-day activities and the things that we get involved in, that we handle, we manage, our personal life, our family, our job, our careers, our finance, our health, all of them are putting pressure on us from different sides. So it is easy for you to become overwhelmed. It is easy for you to think, what is the point of all of this? I might as well just pack it in, jack it in, and just let it go. But a time comes when you have to dig deep, when you have to look beyond the circumstances around you, when you have to engage yourself, when you have to talk to yourself. You know, sometimes the only sane thing to do is to talk to yourself. Say, come on, you are more than this. There is more to you than this. There is so much investment that God has put in you and on you for you to want to give in and just give up on life and give up on yourself, on your family and all of that. Motivation is like confidence. Motivation is like confidence. It can often seem like unpredictable. 1 minute you have a lot of it, you are bouncing, you are on top of the world, you are going for gold, you are raving and just enjoying yourself. And the next minute, you can't even introduce yourself, you can't even say your name. The whole thing just nosedive like a plane about to crash. Motivation, like confidence, is something that is almost elusive. On one hand, you have it, and the next minute, it could be gone, just like that. But you see, what I have found out in my life and in my studies and in these readings that I've done and the exposure that I have had, what I've found out is too many people make the mistake of focusing on their shortcomings. They concentrate too much on the obstacles facing them. They ignore the fact that there is more to life than what they are facing. But more than that, they ignore and completely forget that they have the strength, they have the capacity, they have the enablement, they have what it takes to actually overcome in life. And sometimes that can be something challenging. That can be something that you are wondering, can I really do this? Do I have what it takes? And the truth is, yes, you do. Yes, I do. We all have what it takes. But we need to dig deep. We need to find it. We need to search for it. We need to get it out of where it is. Because you see, at every point in time in your life and in my life, we are barely scratching the surface of our enablement, our ability, our capacity, our senses, our everything that God has packaged in us. We are barely touching it. So when you come to the point, to the junction where life is really buffeting you, punching you and slamming you on the ground, trying to bring you to a point where you say, you know what, I give up, I surrender. That's the time for you to dig deep. That's the time for you to look on the inside and reach down and touch that which is who you are. Not this frame, not this shell, this house. No, the real spirit man that God created. That's the time for you to get in contact with yourself. And that is why sometimes you hear people saying they wake up in the morning before they go to work, they'll stand in front of the mirror and psych themselves up. Yes, some people it's just head knowledge, but the truth is, sometimes the only person that can tell you and encourage you and motivate you is yourself. You are the only one that knows what you are dealing with, what you are facing, the challenges that you are contending with. So you know exactly what area you need motivation in, and you can only give it to yourself to the degree to which you need it. So these are some of the things we'll be looking on this topic of self-motivation. In most cases, human beings, we are our own worst enemies. We are our own worst enemies. And the reason I say that is we distort the truth. Yes, we have challenges. Yes, we have situations facing us. But what do? We distort the truth. We make one thing to be all things. We tell ourselves negative stories based on our interpretation of what we're dealing with, rather than to hold the facts, take the facts, and let the facts be the moderator of how we relate. But rather, we tell ourselves, okay, for instance, your council tax bill is due. And now you've got a red letter come through the door to say, this is your final reminder. This is the final reminder for you that you need to pay your council tax. All it says is, this is your final reminder. But immediately, as human beings, we start to think, oh, they're going to take me to court. It's going to affect my credit history. I'm not going to be able to do this. And I'm not going. And before you know it, you've talked yourself into a frenzy that you incapacitate yourself from being able to do anything going forward. And that is one of the greatest danger that we do to ourselves. We distort the truth and tell ourselves stories that are not based on facts, but on our interpretation of the challenge and the situation we have. We forget that the more negatively we interpret the situation, I need you to hear this, the more negatively you interpret a situation, the more your mind, because when you interpret anything, you are speaking to your subconscious mind. And what it will do is it will go around and find a reality. It will try and find something that is an evidence of what you are thinking and present that back to you to say, you see, this is what I'm talking about. When in actual fact, if you had switched the game over to the other side, rather than reporting back to yourself negatively, if you flip that over to a positive report that you're giving to yourself, guess what? Your subconscious mind will look around as well and find a positive proof in your life to give to you as a proof of what you are dealing with. So when I say we are our own worst enemies, I want you to look at it from these two angles. Number one, we distort the truth and tell ourselves stories, issues. We report back to ourselves on the situations that we're dealing with, on how we perceive it, on how we interpret it, rather than the facts of the matter. Number two, we feed ourselves with negative reports, so much so that our subconscious mind then look around for how can I prove what you are saying to you as true. Then it will find something, present it to you, and before you know it, you now have a bigger issue to deal with than it was in the first place. So the essence of today's program, at least starting from today, the essence is for you to give yourself some motivation and confidence level boost by telling yourself a different, more positive story. Make a mental list of your strength, of your achievements, of your advantages, of your abilities, of your capacity, of the endowment that God has deposited in you. Remind yourself of who you are, not what society say you are, not what situations say you are, not what circumstances has painted you to be, but who you are. Remind yourself. And as you do that, you start to turn the engine of the car that will bring you to a point where you can zoom off into the horizon in your motivated self to achieve the goals that are before you. So I need you to come with me. This is going to be an interesting program for the next week, 2, maybe 3 weeks. I don't know for how long we're going to do this for. It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful program. You see, let the end goal provide you motivation, not fear. Don't let the end goal incapacitate you. No, let it propel you to a greater height. Bible talks about Jesus, that he saw the glory that was set before him, that going to the cross was child's play, because he refused to let the current situation demotivate him. Rather, he focused on what is ahead of him, what is laid in front of him, the achievements that he has seen, that he has experienced, that he had handled. He used all of that to motivate himself. And today, he's sitting at the right hand of God in majesty, gloriously glory. And I believe as you do that, that will be your story too, in Jesus' name. So the ability to stay motivated for a long period of time, in most cases, if not in all cases, the ability to stay motivated for a long period of time can mean the difference between living a life of mediocrity or living a life of incredible success. You see, if you sit down with everyone that has become somebody in life, everyone whose name is associated with success and glory, with breakthroughs and accumulation of wealth and success, if you sit down with them and just ask them, how was your journey? You see, all we see is the destination where they are now. All we relate to is the accolades that people are bestowing on them. But if you can just sit down with them and hear their story and travel the journey with them, you will see at different times they were knocked down for 6, like Anthony Joshua just give them an uppercut. But somewhere on the inside, they said to themselves, before the count of 10, I am going to get up. And get up they did. And today, we are all envying them. We are appreciating them. We are longing to be like them. But you see, it wasn't like that all through. There was a time in their journey when they were knocked down, but they had to motivate themselves to be where they are today. So, having said all of this, the question then is, what is self-motivation? By definition, what is self-motivation? Self-motivation is the ability to do what needs to be done without the influence of other people or other situations. Self-motivation is the ability to do what needs to be done, regardless of the situation, of the circumstances, of the people. In fact, without the influence of other people and the influence of other things in your life. It is something that you have to bring out. You have to dig deep. You have to reach down. You have to go further than you naturally want to do. Because when you look at, for instance, the people that mine diamonds and golds and even oil, you don't find them on the surface of the ground. No, you have to go further, down, break through different layers of sediments and settlements of soil, of stone, of lime, of this. But they keep digging because the motivation is not what they're having to dig through. It's what they are going to get at the bottom of the mine. That is what keeps them going. And it's the same thing with you and for me. It's not about challenges that we face. In fact, if you don't have challenges in your life, I want to know if you are still breathing. Because for as long as there's breath in your nostril, as long as your heart is pumping, as long as there is blood running in your veins, there will be challenges that you will face in life. But just because challenges come doesn't mean they have to overcome. And the only way to stop them in their track from overcoming is for you to motivate yourself, for you to say to yourself, is that the best you can do? Throw your best punch, because this man here, I am here for the long haul. I am here to whoop your tail and still be singing hallelujah on top. So self-motivation is the ability to find a reason, the ability to find the strength and the courage to complete a task, even when you are faced with challenges, without giving up or needing another person to encourage you. You have to be able to encourage yourself. You have to be able to rise up above what this world is putting on you and say, no, that's not my portion. My place is at the top, and I am not stopping until I get there. You see, unlike all the other elements that are required for success, things like your finance, connections, experience, education, and all of that are required for you to be successful in life. All those things are good. They contribute and add to your being successful. But when you look deep down each and every one of those things, they are all external factors. They are all external contributors. But self-motivation, it lies deeply, entirely within you, and it's within your control to bring it up and achieve the success that you are destined to have. True self-motivation, ladies and gentlemen, is being moved by what you really want. What is it you really want? What is it you really want? Because once you locate what you want, you will pay any price to have it. The Bible talks about a man who finds a pearl in the field and went back and sold everything that he has to buy that field. I mean, he sold everything just because he found something that he wanted in that field. And that is self-motivation. It's about what you truly want. You see, a lot of us, we think that we know what we want. But really, we don't. We really don't. Because those things that we think, oh, this is what I really want. One tiny, weeny, bitty, pinhead challenge can derail you and kick you out of the track of achieving what you wanted, what you declared that you wanted. So you need to find something in you to motivate yourself, especially when you are faced with adversities. I want to appreciate all of you that have joined this program. I thank you for your time. Please, let's quickly click the share button and let's share it so that others can benefit from this program as well. Now, when we talk about self-motivation, there are two types of self-motivation. There are two types of motivation. There is internal motivation and there is external motivation. Internal motivation is driven by your needs. There's a psychological need that we all have. And that psychological need cannot be met or satisfied by anything from outside. It has to be met and satisfied from within, from the inside of us. Things like the need for us to feel that we are good at some things. Things that, the feelings that we enjoy being self-directed, being self-connected, being self-appreciated. Those are some psychological needs and nothing else. No one else can meet them for you. It has to be met by you, for you, within you, by yourself. And some of that is demonstrated through the display of competence, the sense of autonomy, the knowledge of knowing that you are related and you are connected, that you are not an island just by yourself. Those are psychological needs that only you can meet for yourself, by yourself, and for yourself. Then there is the external motivation. And external motivation usually shows up in rewards, such as money, fame, position, grades, praise, and accolades, and achievements and recognitions. Those are external motivation. But you see, the truth is, in most cases, we are running after the external motivation. Now, there's nothing wrong with external motivation. Don't misunderstand me. But the truth is this, ladies and gentlemen. Without the abundance of internal motivation expended, there will be no external motivation experienced. You will not experience external motivation beyond the degree to which you have expended internal motivation. Your ability to have the external rewards like money, like fame, like grades, like position, like recognitions and achievements and accolades, all of that are the byproduct of how much you have invested in yourself, how much you have developed yourself, how much you have motivated yourself, how much you have prepared yourself so that when your time finally knocks on the door, you are ready to go for it. See, somebody once said, success is when preparation meets opportunity. There are people whose success are not there today because when success knocked on their door, they were not prepared. The opportunity came and it went. Some people, they were prepared, but no opportunity. But when opportunity and preparation, when they collide, there is no stopping such a person. Success is guaranteed. So before you can enjoy external motivation, you have to have really expended a lot of internal motivation. Having said all of this, the next question will you be asking now, because I asked myself about this when I was preparing for this. I mean, this topic today really has kicked me really hard, and I am not ashamed to say I have learned a lot in the space of me preparing for this program about self-motivation. You see, there's a way that life deals with you, treats you, handles you, manages you, just really make you question yourself, your person, your ability, your calling, your assignment, your purpose, your destiny. Life can drain you completely of who you are. But the only way to stop that is for you to dig deep, to know who you are, and refuse to compromise for any other definition of your person. So the question is, why is it so hard to stay self-motivated? Why? Why? Why do we all have challenges with self-motivation? Let me give you 3 good reasons quickly. Number 1 is a lack of focus. Lack of focus. You see, too many of us, we try to force ourselves to become motivated about the things that we simply don't care about. We try to put ourselves in a box, thinking that box is all and all. And in some cases, knowing that box is not going to meet our desire, our longing, our heart need, we still put ourselves in it. But what we have poured ourselves into are things that we don't really care about. And because you don't care about it, because it's not oozing out of you naturally, you easily get frustrated and discouraged. So in order for you to motivate yourself, you need to be doing things for the right reason. You need to have a dream. You need to have a rewarding goal inside. Because for as long as you have a focus in front of you, for as long as you have a goal, you have a purpose, you are pursuing a destiny, you are going to a destination, you have an assignment to fulfill. For as long as that is the fire burning in your bones, you will find a reason to be motivated. You will find a way to get yourself up and going. You will find the avenue, the strength, the courage to stay motivated. But if you are simply doing things that you don't care about, you will not be motivated. I don't care if all the motivational speakers in this world are in your cupboard. You will not be motivated. None of us, most of us really wants to just have a line in the morning, especially in this season when it's very cold. You just want to coil up under your duvet and enjoy another 10 minutes of snoozing and all of that. But why do we get up in the morning? Because you realize if you stay under that duvet, it won't just be your council tax that's not paid. Hunger will come knocking on your door. So the goal, the desire, the need, the longing for you to be in a position where all your needs are met, your bills are paid, you're out of debt, it kicks you out of the bed in the morning. Even if it's 4 inches, 6 inches snow outside, you still want to get up and get going. That is motivation. The second thing that makes people not to be motivated is lack of confidence. Lack of confidence. You see, the biggest killer of motivation is confidence, self-confidence. Knowing yourself, being yourself, enjoying your own company. Just know that it is not arrogance, but it is boldness. It is not cockiness, but it is just the knowledge of who you are and what you are. But when you lack self-confidence, when you lack that conviction in your heart, you are easily demotivated. You are easily demotivated. And because you are demotivated, you don't want to try anything. Because you say to yourself, what's the point trying? I'm not good at it anyway. But you have not even given yourself, you have not allowed yourself to try it. And yet you've written yourself off. So the second reason why people don't get self-motivated is lack of confidence. Number 3 is lack of direction. Lack of direction. When you don't know where you're going, everywhere will seem like it's the place. The Bible talks about where there is no vision, the people perish. One translation says, where there is no vision, the people run wild like untamed horses. When there are no boundaries, when there are no parameters within which you run your life, you live your life, everything is everything. And because of that, you spread yourself too thin, you become ineffective in any area. And so it's like everything you put your hands to, they're not working. And therefore you get demotivated. It's not because they're not working. It's because you have no direction. You have no goal for your life. You have no parameters, no boundaries that keeps you within your lane. That is why you are easily demotivated. So, I don't know how you're feeling about this. Maybe I'm just getting excited by myself. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me hear from you how you think this relates to you and whether this is scratching where it is itching for you. Quickly then, let us look at how to become self-motivated. Because ultimately, I can say all of this and shout and hang from the chandelier and do a cartwheel and whatever. That will not help you, and it will not help me. What will help all of us is, okay, Tunde, I've heard what you've said. I see your point. I can relate to everything you said. And then what? What do I have to do? I'm glad you asked the question. Quickly, we're going to look at how to be self-motivated. How to be self-motivated. Now, I have divided this into 3 major headings. And under each heading, there are other subheadings. So please, just roll with me on this. The first subheading is, in order for you to be self-motivated, in order for you to encourage yourself, in order for you to put yourself in a situation, in a position rather, where nothing can stop you, where you are unstoppable, where you can do and achieve and be all that you have in your mind to be. The first thing you need to do is to get in the mindset zone. Set your mind. Set your mind. Have a mindset that dictates and projects self-motivation. What do I mean by that? Now, the first subset of getting in the mindset is get positive. Get positive. And I'm not just talking about positive confession. Positive confession have its place, don't get me wrong. But you see, I don't care how much positive confession you do. You could confess from 7 a.m. in the morning till 10 p.m. at night. But if all you do is mouth confession, nothing is going to change. Nothing is going to change. The positivity that you must engage in must come from your heart, from your thoughts, from your meditation, from your insight. That is where you need to be positive. You see, the Bible talks about we should guard our hearts with all diligence because out of it flows the issues of life. It's the same thing. You have to be positive, not just in your confession, but even in your thoughts, the way you think. The Bible says, as a man thinks, so is he. The way you think will eventually come out in what you say and in what you do. So being positive it must start from your heart. It must start from your thinking, your meditation, your perception, your views in life. That is where you have to start your positivity from. Positive thoughts are the only way you will find motivation in the first place. Because if you think negative, you won't be motivated. You will be demotivated. So in order for you to lay hand on the barrel, on the wheels of self-motivation, you have to start from being positive in your thoughts. And that eventually will metamorphosize into positive confession and positive reaction. But it has to start from your thought, from the way you think. See, it's hard to get anything done when you are stuck in the rock, when your head is buried in the sand, when all you think is, oh, this life is boring, this life is just boring, it's raining, it's very cold. If that is your view and your perception and all that occupies your mind, guess what? It could be 30 degrees centigrade outside and the sun is shining. You won't see it, because as a man think in his heart, so is he. If you find yourself thinking negatively, snap out of it. Snap out of it. You have the power to say, no. We're not going down that route today. Mind, we're going to think positively. We're going to seek the good things in life. We're going to enjoy the benefit of the fact that there is life in the first place. We are going to be positive. You need to divert your attention from negative thinking to something else. Especially if you are working on being self-motivated, that's the time to remind yourself of what you have been working on in terms of self-motivation. Any other thinking will keep you from even trying. But you have to stay positive in your thought. That's the first step of getting in the mindset of self-motivation. The second step is you have to become confident. You see, to a lot of us, we have reduced confidence to braggadocious and machoism and big wide chest. No, that's not. It's not at all. In fact, some of the people that are showing their big wide chest, like broadband chest and all of that, most of them are coward on the inside. All they're doing is projecting that so that you won't discover the real person on the inside. If you think you are incapable, if your confidence level is down, it will put a damper on the amount of effort that you will give to any task. It will slow down the rate at which you respond. It will affect your ability to see opportunities, to embrace opportunities, to take advantage of opportunities, because you lack confidence. You say to yourself, well, what's the point? Why even try? Why would you bother doing something that you have told yourself you can't do anyway? Be confident. Get confident. When you have that, it will boost your energy. And your energy will boost your confidence. And your confidence will give you opportunity to motivate yourself, to refuse to settle for less and ask for more. And if you don't know how to do that, how to boost your confidence, let me help you. Why don't you start with counting your success? Start counting your success. Well, you don't know today. I have not seen any success since Noah was a boy. Really? All right. Let me ask you these questions, and I want you to answer them sincerely and objectively. What have you done in the past that was awesome? Anything. that you've done in the past, and it was awesome. It was just amazing. Anything. What have you achieved in the past? What do you have going for you even right now? And if you think you don't have anything going for you, maybe I should help you. You woke up this morning, put your feet on the ground from the bed. You walk down the aisle, the corridor to the bathroom. You dressed yourself up. You went out. You came back home. You have a house to come back to. And you say you don't have anything going for you right now. Like I said, perception. How we perceive, how we see things, what we think about, what we remember last week, well, till the end of last week, we were looking at the discipline of gratitude. If a man can think, he will have reason to give thanks. If you think you haven't got anything going for you, maybe you should sit down, count your blessings, and name them one by one, and see how grateful and how wonderful life has been for you. What resources do you have at your disposal right now? Well, today you don't understand. I don't have any money. I didn't ask you for money. Resources is not just about money. What skill have you got? What grace is upon your life? How's your temperament? What is it about you that others are looking up to? What is it about you that somebody else will want? What is it about you that you can spread? Until you are able to give out of almost nothing, you don't know how wealthy you are. Your sincere ability to answer this question sincerely will inject you with a truckload of confidence that you want to take on Goliath yourself if he's still alive. Because even though you think you don't have it, even though you have talked yourself out of it, even though you have condemned yourself about it, the truth is you have it in abundance, to the full, until it overflows. So the second thing was, get confident. Develop your confidence, and you will be able to motivate yourself. The third way of getting in the mindset for you to be able to motivate yourself is be hungry. Get hungry. I don't mean hungry for food. No. Get hungry. Want this. Have an insatiable desire, a longing so strong, so deep in your heart that you want to motivate yourself. When you really, 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 really want something, you will find the strength to go for it. There's a saying in management that if your why is strong enough, your how will manifest itself. When the reason why you want that thing, when it is strong enough, you will find a way to get it. When it is almost like you cannot imagine life without it, you will find a way to get it. It's all right to think about something nice that you like to have. But this is not, I'm not talking about thinking about it. I'm saying get yourself to a point where you are desperately, you are so desperate, you want it like the air you are breathing. Then you will have it. Because if you don't really want it, there's no point in self-motivating. If you don't really want it, then this program today will not help you. You have to have the hunger for it, the desire to have it, the passion to get it. Then you will find the resources, the power and the ability to motivate yourself. Now, sometimes it will take a little bit of twisting, a little bit of cajoling, a little bit of convincing yourself that you really want it. But once you push past that point, the rest is history, as they say. See, it's a lot easier to do something you don't want to do when you have a purpose in mind for that thing. Not, let's be truthful. Okay. It's really cold lately. If you're in England, it is very cold. So in the morning, you really don't want to get out of that bed. You just want to pull the duvet over and just cuddle up again and enjoy it. Just 1 hour more of this warmth before you. That is what naturally you want to do in the morning. But you don't do that, do you? You find the energy to get yourself out of that bed. Drag yourself into the bathroom and drag yourself out of the house because you have to. You need to. You must do what you have to do. So that's the third. The fourth way of getting in the mindset of self-motivation is to know that in life, setbacks will happen. Setbacks will happen. It's important to understand that in life there will be failures. There will be challenges. You will fall. That's why the Bible says a righteous man will fall 7 times, but yet he will get up again. That's a righteous man. He will fall down 7 times, but yet he will rise up again. You know why? Because that is the nature of life. That is the nature of being alive. The fact that you can breathe in and breathe out, life will happen. Life will knock you down and shake you up and slam you against the wall. But it's for you to say, okay, I will take down the chain and I will bounce and shake it off. Setbacks in life will happen. You see, one of the dangers of people who are not self-motivated is the fact that they have become self-perfectionists. And being self-perfectionist, there's nothing wrong in demanding the best and the excellent of yourself. But when your analysis has now been turned into paralysis, you will get easily frustrated. You will get easily defeated. You will get easily demotivated because nothing to you will be good enough. Nothing to you will be good enough. But self-motivation, with the knowledge that setbacks will happen in life, it will give you the energy that when life knocks you down, you don't just stay down, but you get up and you get going. And let me help you here. Failures or setbacks in life, they have nothing to do with, it's not personal. It is not personal. It is happening to you because you're a human being. Bible talks about no temptation befalls a man except that which is common. The fact that it's common means everybody is susceptible to have it. So don't take setbacks personal. Now, having said that, sometimes the setbacks are as a result of your own making. Like maybe you made the wrong decision, you made the wrong investment, you took the wrong turning, you listened to the wrong person, and all of that. You took the wrong job, you moved to the wrong location. Yes, those are some of the things that it could have happened, may have happened because of your own choice and your own making. I'm not disputing that. But you see, that is part of what life is about. That is part of what life is about. The only people that are 100% correct all the time are the people that are not doing anything at all the time. The fact that you step out to do something, it means there is a great chance of you missing the mark, of you falling, of you messing it up. But if you don't step out, what if it works? So don't take failures and setback personal. Some of them will happen to you because of your decision. Some of them are completely things out of your control. There's nothing you can do about it. There is nothing you can do about it. Let me give you an example. When the economic crunch happened in 2008, a lot of people, millions and millions of people, lost all their life savings and investment and everything. It's not because they were negligent or because they were... No. That was completely outside the control of any of us. But we all had to bear the pain of it. And that is a setback in somebody's life. And you cannot allow that to stop you from cultivating a mindset of self-motivation. When you approach life, when you approach situation, when you carry yourself with the mindset of knowing that the chances of there being setbacks and failures on this path is there, it will not really take you by surprise when it happens, because you already prepare your mind that this could happen, this may happen, this will happen. And when it does, you just shake it off and get going. You shake it off and get going. Quickly. So that's the first step in how to self-motivate. How to motivate yourself. Get a mindset. Get into the mindset of self-motivation. The second step is develop a momentum. Develop a momentum for self-motivation. What do I mean by that? First, focus on positive goals. You see, it is easy for us to know what we don't want. It's easy to know what we're afraid of. But usually, in most cases, to all of us, it is harder to point out what exactly will make us happy and what exactly we're striving for. So in order to get anything done, you have to think positively. You have to set positive goals instead of living in the negativity of fears and concern and worries. For instance, instead of saying or living under the dread and the fear of, I don't want to die broke. I don't want to be broke. I don't want to be without. Instead of living under the shadow, the dark shadow of the fear of not wanting to live a broke life and a life without means, a life of not having enough or not having at all. Instead of using that fear to drive you, why don't you turn it around and say, I would like to be saving so amount of money each month. Now, either way, you will meet that desire of your heart. But one of them, you have a better chance of succeeding than the other. The one that is under the cloud of fear will handicap you from doing anything. For instance, you say, oh, I need to watch my middle kingdom. I don't want to be fat. Just the thought of the fact that I could be fat, or I am fat, or I may be fat, am I getting fat? That thought alone is demoralizing. It demotivates you. Just the thought of it in itself, before you even say it, it just cripples your will and your ability to think straight. So instead of saying, I don't want to be fat, maybe I'm fat, I am fat, could I be fat? Did she say I'm fat? Am I really fat? Instead of living under that shadow, why don't you change that focus positively to say, you know what? I am going to lose 10 pounds by the middle of April this year. My goal is to lose 10 pounds. So therefore, I'm going to exercise, I'm going to eat well, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to do... Now, you're still not going to be fat. You're still preventing becoming obese. But you're approaching it from a different mindset, a different focal point. And that is another way That is number one way by which you develop momentum. Focus on the positive, not on the negative. The negative will handicap you. The positive will elevate you. Number two, keep it small. Start small. Even the Bible talks about, though your beginning may be small, your latter end shall greatly increase. Start small. Don't choke yourself. You know, there's a lesson when you look at the life of a child. A child is born, and that child is completely dependent upon others to do everything. A day will come when that child will be able to roll over by himself or herself. One day they'll be able to sit down. One day they'll start to crawl. One day they'll start to stand. Another day they'll start to walk. And before you know it, they're running around the house and we all are chasing after them. Do the same. Keep it small. Take it step by step. Start with baby steps. Learn to walk before you start running. Don't go and sign up tomorrow for London Marathon. Are you going to run the marathon? I am going to be in the front of the London Marathon. When you can't even go around the block twice. So why don't you start with going around the block? Why don't you start with just walking down the street? Why don't you start with just jogging in your neighborhood? And gradually build that strength, build the stamina, build the ability, build the confidence that you can actually take on the London Marathon. The number 3 way of maintaining a momentum is track your progress. Track your progress. Human beings, from time immemorial, we lived for purpose and with direction. We seek purpose in everything we do. Is it in our jobs? Is it in our relationships with our finance, our health, everything? We're looking for purpose. And therefore, if something is unfulfilling, if something has no purpose, generally, people won't do it. We don't want to do it. We don't want to be part of it. So whether you are losing weight or you're working overtime, you're raising money for school or to buy a house, you're paying off your debt, track what you are doing. Keep a track on your progress. It will give your purpose and drive the momentum to keep going, and the outcome will be positive. So track what you are doing, but don't just track what you are doing. Don't just track your behaviors. Also track the result that you are getting. Track the result. My wife was saying this to me some weeks ago to say, this area that you are working on, you need to keep a track on the outcome, on the productivity, on the effect that it's having. You can't just be doing it for doing it. There has to be a way by which you measure the progress, by which you measure the outcome, the output from your input. You need to be able to measure it. The reason why you need to do that is when you track your behavior, you are boosting your own confidence, because you look back and say, wow, I really did that. Wow, I'm the. But when you track your result, it will help you to know of all your activities, of all your behavioral patterns, which one is working, which one is not, which one is moving you towards your goal, which one is taking you in the opposite direction. And so by being able to differentiate that, you can now sit down, streamline your behaviors, and strategize on the way forward. Another way by which you can maintain momentum towards self-motivation is take breaks. Every now and again, take a break. Take a break. Taking a break is not only for lazy people. Taking a break is a natural need that we all have. Taking a break It's just an ability for you to, number one, even God rested from his labor, to take a rest, take a breather, re-examine your strategy, refocus, review your plans, look at what has been working and what is not working, rejuvenate yourself. We did a program some months ago where we talked about become a better man, rejuvenate, learn to play. All works are no play. Make Jack a dull boy. Take a break. You see, your body is not engine. Even machines, they do break down. They take a break where they will go, and then the time will come, they say, do you know what? I need some oil changing here. And until that oil is changed, I ain't doing nothing. I'm not going to even make a move. Take a break. Find what a break is for you in your endeavors, in your activities, in your circumstances, with your families and your ability. But whatever you do, take a break. Take a break. It helps you to reconnect with yourself. There's something they call power nap. If you've been going all day, and you find yourself, maybe in the afternoon, usually after lunch in the afternoon, for about 10 minutes, you dozing, or your eyes are closing, or you come back from work, you sit down, and before you know it, you just have that 5-10 minutes of sleep. When you wake up, it's like you've had 8 hours of sleep, because your body had that opportunity to slow down, to shut down, to reconnect all the parts that have been moving everywhere. Everything has now come back to where they should be and how they should be. So taking a break, it's not unproductive. In fact, it is more productive to take regular breaks than to just keep going like the Duracell rabbit. Where has time gone? Quickly before we close for today, last week, for those who were not here and those who didn't hear it, last week we made an announcement that from Monday the 5th of February, we're starting a new weekly program. But this time, it's a Bible study that we'll be doing. Now, Become a Better Man will still air every Thursday. But this new program, Practical Christianity Bible Study, will be airing every Monday, starting from Monday the 5th of February on Facebook Live. Now, the question is, why? Why? Yeah, I'm glad you asked. You see, the main aim of this program is to take Christianity from the pages of Bible that we've all been reading like stories, but to bring them into our daily life experience through practical hands-on application. It's a platform that will help us to take God at his word, literally. Not sugarcoating it, not watering it down, but doing what it says and how it says it. No personal interpretation. No diluting and mixing and using. No. It's purely concise what it says, and we do it. It's moving Christianity from mere confessions and aggression to hands-on application. It is to help us become and for us to manifest what the Bible says rather than confessing and not possessing. I know in my life, and I believe in your life to a certain degree. We've all had it. We are tired of religious activities. We are tired of religion manipulations. If this our God is who he say he is, that we have read and seen what he has done. The Bible talks about, we've heard of your fame, of the great and wonderful things you've done in the past. Renew them in our days. Do them in our own days, so that we too can say and experience the God that parted the Red Sea, the God that fed the children of Israel in the wilderness for 40 years. No cooking, no baking, no roasting, and yet every day they were having fresh food. That God is still alive. That God is still alive. And that is that God that you and I profess. So why is it not happening in our own days? So it's time for us to get away from religion. It's time for us to start to manifest our true nature as the children of God, and our God in heaven may be glorified because of the proofs in our lives. So that is the essence of this practical Christian Bible study that is starting on Monday the 5th of February 2018, and it will repeat every Monday on this platform. 8 p.m. is the time. I look forward to seeing you on that program. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for today. Thank you for being part of this program today. It's been an honor. It's been a privilege. It is such a high blessing to me to know that you are out there being part of this program. I honor you and appreciate you. I thank you for your time. And I pray God bless you and keep you, and make his face and his countenance, his blessing that adds no sorrow, to be your portion, even in this rest of this week. In the name of Jesus. Thank you. God bless you. Until next week, when we meet again, as we dig further into this topic of self-motivation. Hey, guess what? This time next week, it will be exactly 1 year that we started Become a Better Man. Can you believe that? 1 year. 1 year. And I remember the very first person to tune in and join the program when I started was Sister Katie Moideme. Ma, I honor you. Thank you so much. And you're still here, and I'm still here, and all the rest are still here. There is no stopping us. We have a destination. We have a destiny. We have a purpose. There is a place set for us. And we're not going to stop until we get there. So that when we arrive, nobody can deny that we have been on a journey of becoming better men and better women. Until next week, this is Tunde Disu once again saying, I love you with all of my heart. God bless you. Have a blessed week. Bye-bye.